That's not a little one. That fish about pulled me in the lake. Come up here, you big sucker. Yeah, that fish was right in that piece of wood. I pitched it right down in there. That's the beautiful part. You gotta have a jig that'll get down in that heavy cover to be able to get a bass like that out of it. That fish was in some nasty, nasty stuff right there. And you can see that hook has got him pinned too. That's exactly how you want to hook them on a jig. That Pro's jig with that VMC hook, it does that extremely well. Dude, that is a beautiful, beautiful specimen of a bass. So on that particular pitch right there, I saw a piece of wood just extend out under the water and I just dropped it. That's primarily, I mean, that's the first thing I always do with the jig when I'm fishing, you know, any type of, whether it's flipping bushes up shallow, a lay down tree, pitching it in grass. I'll pitch it up there, slack line, totally slack line, allow it to go straight to the bottom. That's always my first presentation. Even a lot of times when I'm swimming a jig, I'm gonna pitch it into some cover, let it go to the bottom, and then I'm gonna swim it back out. That jig hitting the water, falling to the bottom, that just triggers strikes a lot of times. You can adjust that fall rate too by the size of the jig, whether you're fishing real light, you know, maybe 1/4, 3 ounce, or half is my standard. Step it up to a 3/4 or 1 ounce and really heavy cover, or just when you want a real fast reaction out of those fish by it falling real quick. Swimming a jig is something that I do a lot, especially around the shad spawn, but anytime I'm fishing kind of scattered, submerged vegetation, I'm gonna swim a jig in those situations. And it can be in really clear water, it can also be in fairly dirty water, but swimming a jig, you can fish it in places that you just can't fish a spinnerbait, can't fish a bladed jig effectively. And you know, that real shallow submerged grass, swimming a jig through those areas, for one, it's extremely natural. You know, it doesn't have a lot of flash, a lot of vibration. Obviously you can put a boot tail style trailer on the back to give it some movement, but it just is a very natural presentation and you're able to catch fish in clear water that's really, really shallow and in heavy cover. You know, something that's kind of a tough scenario for a lot of different bait styles. The nice part with the jig is that I can switch right from a horizontal presentation of swimming to a hole in the grass, kill it, and then I'm immediately fishing a vertical presentation. So having a jig head that is designed to where it does both well on one retrieve is extremely efficient. Something I've experienced multiple times is to be, you know, flipping heavy cover or scattered stuff, bushes, whatever it may be, pitch the bait in there, let it go to the bottom, hop, 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 nothing. Go to reel in to make the next pitch, boom, one hits it, you know, right up on the surface or as I'm reeling it in. So listening to those clues can help you dial in the fact that, hey, these fish aren't wanting something on the bottom right now. They're wanting something actually moving through the water column. So you just have to listen to those fish and listen to when they're biting the bait. And other times, you know, it may be a deal where you're pitching it in the cover. And for me, I'm gonna pitch it in there, let it go to the bottom, totally slack line, pick up once it's down there, hop it once or twice, maybe again, and then reel it in. But there are times when you gotta really soak that bait, just hop, 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 4, 5, 6, 8 times in one place before those fish will pick it up. Again, it's just about listening to what those fish are telling you as to how they're biting a jig that particular day.